From Brunswick's own Lakewood in Lakewood, Colorado, minutes from Denver, ESPN brings you live coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour. Today, 4 bowlers go for big prize money, and for 3 of them, a chance to be exempt for next season. Welcome, everyone. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, our entire crew with you. And along with the 4
Last season, he captured 3 tour titles, including the Denny's PBA World Championship. The 2005 PBA Player of the Year from Tarrytown, New York, Patrick Allen.
Patrick Allen wants to prove that last season's heroics were not a fluke. He has the left side of the lane all to himself today to pave his way to victory.
He finished second in last week's Tulsa Championship, making his 3rd consecutive TV Finals appearance. From Austin, Texas, Big Wes Malott.
Wes Malott made it to his first title match last week where he ran into a red-hot Tommy Jones. But with his proven versatility, he just may be the next player to win his first tour championship.
The 2003 Dexter Tournament of Champions winner makes his first TV Finals since last year's USBC Masters. From Flower Mound, Texas, Patrick Healey Jr.
Patrick overhauled his entire grip a month and a half before the Japan Cup and finished 3rd. This major championship winner now feels like his physical game is the best it's ever been in his entire career.
The 2004 PBA Player of the Year has 6 career titles, including the 2002 U.S. Open. 2 of those wins came last season. From Heartland, Michigan, Mika Koivuniemi.
Major Mika is back with a new twist. Known primarily as a guy who likes to go straight, he worked diligently in the offseason on throwing the slow hook, which may pay huge dividends today.
These are your finalists competing in the 2005 Mile High Classic.
Comes to the greater Denver area for the 22nd time. One of our bowlers today will become the 3rd ever exempt bowler to win in this great city. Tom Baker and Tommy Jones are the others. A new Mile High City champion to be crowned today. Randy, let's look at those matchups.
Final number 1, Patrick Allen will take on Wes Malott. Look out, Wes. Patrick has won his last 5 semifinal matches. That's why he's the reigning Player of the Year. And in semifinal number 2, a rematch of 2001 U.S. Open where Mika Koivuniemi defeated Patrick Healey Jr. and earned the nickname Major Mika.
Thanks. Let's start with the reigning Player of the Year and Patrick Allen. How would you best describe your off-season approach to repeating as Player of the Year?
You just have to take it 1 week at a time. I mean, Tommy Jones is off to a great start, as well as Wes. I'm just trying to make my own mark, too.
Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Wes Malott, another TV show for you. 3 straight. After your first couple of years, you'd only made a couple of shows, and now you're a regular on TV. How have you made your adjustments to be so versatile on different patterns?
Well, I mean, I've always been a pretty versatile player. I put a lot of this to, hard work over the summer and the regionals as far as executing when you need to make the shots to win, and hopefully we can carry that over and be able to do that today.
Good luck to you, Wes.
Thank you.
Wes Malott goes first. First career title, Randy. It's the first ever head-to-head matchup between these 2, Wes Malott, Patrick Allen on TV.
$40,000 for first, 25,000 points. The all-important 1-year exemption, almost $250,000 in total prize fund. Patrick Allen will start the match, which means he will finish the match last on the right lane. And keep in mind, PA's last 5 shows, second, first, first, second, first, meaning his opponents don't win this match.
And a great start for Patrick Allen. And his first U.S. TV appearance of this season. Reigning Player of the Year. Was he ever spectacular last season? Now it's Wes Malott. How about the success for Big Wes? They call him the Beast and Shrek. Well, this Beast is a slimmed-down version. As we told you last week in Tulsa, has lost a lot of weight. Down about 30 pounds, looks great. Great start from H. Randy leads us to our first ace matchup of the day.
The reigning player of the year going up against a guy looking for his first title. All PA has to do is rely on his past experiences. Wes Malott, well, he needs to avoid disastrous frames.
First career Denny's PBA Tour title. Wes looking for that. Another nice shot from Wes Malott. High flush strike. Randy alluding to the troubles Wes has had on TV. He had 2 fouls in the tournament last year, Grand Rapids, Michigan, against Liz Johnson. Fouled again in Japan, and then the gutter ball last week in Tulsa.
It's been the only thing that really has stopped him. You know, the 2 fouls against Liz Johnson, one he got a break on because he split, but the foul in the 10th frame, if he strikes out, he shuts her out and goes on both for the title.
Does he ever look good? A flush strike for Patrick Allen, as we'll see his road to TV here in Denver. He's been spectacular. 12-7 match play record got by Mike Edwards in 6 games in the round of 8, a 7-gamer, and he came back from that deficit to defeat Chris Barnes, who made our show last week in Tulsa. Of course, the U.S. Open champion, and we'll touch on that today. What a tournament that was in New Jersey last year. Hoping for late pin action, will not get help on number 3. As our lone lefty, always an interesting path to the pocket when he's the only southpaw.
Yeah, well, you know, he has the advantage of being able to develop a shot on his side of the lane that only he's going to bowl on. We've got 3 righties on the other side, and with the lanes being as slick as they were this week, the players used a lot of surface, and I'll explain more of that when we get into the oil pattern.
First non-strike. PA covers the 3-pin. He's got his mark. He told us, Randy, before the TV show today, that looking back to that U.S. Open last year, the sudden death roll-off with Mika that went into a couple different balls, and then losing to Barnes in the finals. We see Wes's information. There's his resume. Got by Ryan Schaefer in the round of 8. It was a 7-gamer. He came back, as did PA in the round of 16 against Chris Barnes. Patrick said that was the most exciting TV show he's ever been a part of. Flush, strike, all 10 down in the pit for Wes Malott again, who starts with a turkey, and he's got an 11-pin lead.
You can just see it coming with Wes Malott. He's got the TV experience now. He knows how to bowl. This guy, he bowled great on an easier pattern last week. This week, as slick as the lanes were, he was able to kind of gear down, bring his ball speed down, keep his rev rate nice and high, and strike a lot.
Like that. Front 4 for Wes Malott, who told us last night we're not going to see a lot of emotion from him in this match. He was concerned he got too emotional last week in the semifinals. In his victory over Mike Wolf, he eventually lost to Tommy Jones. Kind of felt he was a little tapped out, so he's going to stay on an even keel. That last little yell, slight as it was, pump of the fist, is probably all we'll see in terms of the emotion from Wes here.
Yeah, he needs to be boring today until, you know, if he gets by PA and he bowls in the title, or for the title, I should say, once he throws that last strike in the 10th frame to win, then he can hoop it up.
TV final record, spectacular for PA.
And a beautiful low-angle camera angle from our producer, Scott Katz.
Director Scott Katz, producer Corbin Daly.
I'm sorry.
Make sure we get the roles right.
I'm sorry, I meant director Scott Katz.
They're all great in our book, folks. Just a tremendous job by our great crew again getting set up here and bringing you live coverage of the PBA Tour. Finish up that last stat we saw in PA. He's made the title match in 9 of his 13 career TV appearances. Now that's something. Talk about consistency on television. Works on a strike, 5th frame. Tries to cut the Malott lead to 11 pins. Oh! Late help! And he clears the deck.
But a little luck never hurt anyone, and PA just got it right here. He came in light again on the very same lane he'd left the 3-pin on. This time he trips the 3 out. He's still in this match. And a great break early on.
Good big Wes Malott from near Austin, Texas. Get the front 5.
Get lucky. Yeah.
You better believe it. 60 feet to success yet again for Wes Malott, who's got 5 in a row. It's a Motel 6 frame. Front 5 for Wes. There you see the Motel 6 head pin. He'll earn $600 for Motel 6 with a strike here. Also eligible for a $6,000 bonus if he throws a front 6 more than any other bowler on TV this year. So we shall see. Going for 6 in a row. So there's a little emotion for Wes Malott, and he's $600 richer as well. Not bad. What a great start for him. He's bidding for his first ever Denny's PBA Tour career title. And the reigning player of the year, Patrick Allen, stands in his way. We'll break down PA and Mika Koivuniemi and the oil. It's all coming up from Denver. The Denny's PBA Tour Mile High Classic is brought to you by Denny's. We're cooking now. By Ace. Ace, the official hardware store of the PBA. Ace, the helpful place. By BowlersParadise.com, the official online retailer of the Professional Bowlers Association. Log on today and win a free ball. And by Dexter, where you can play with the pros. Enter to win at DexterShoe.com. Welcome back, everyone, to Denver, Colorado. We're at 5,280 feet, the Mile High City, the front range of the Rockies. And there's a Rocky Mountain hero right there. Former Colorado State star quarterback Bradley Van Pelt on the left. Now a back up to Jake Plummer for the 6-2 first place Denver Broncos. Welcome, everyone. Dave Ryan, my partner Randy Peterson again alongside. So glad he could join us from Denver. And what an opportunity, Randy, for us to look at 2 consecutive Player of the Year winners in Patrick Allen, Mika Koivuniemi. Let's start with PA, who has a lot to try to maintain his excellence from last year. How, in your mind, can he go about doing that?
Well, I think PA is on a mission to prove that he's no flash in the pan. And I think the one thing that really motivates Patrick Allen is a sense of urgency. You know, after winning the Denny's World Championship last season, PA got a 4-year exemption, but he can't rest on his laurels. He's got to feel like each and every week on the PBA Tour is his last.
Now for Mika Koivuniemi, coming off a pretty good season, folks. He won 2 times last year, although not a great start to the year for Mika. He's realized, Randy, to get back to that high level of a Player of the Year winner, he's got to become more versatile.
Absolutely, as we all do out here. But Mika has been predominantly known as a player that likes to go straight and firm. And when he wants to go straighter, he just lofts it more. But he learned after last season that in order to get back to the top of the heap, he has to become more versatile. So during the summer, he went home and practiced how to throw the ball slower and hook it more. He just added another weapon to his arsenal. And keep in mind, Dave, if both of these players were to advance, well, they would do something that hasn't been done since 1987, and that's to have the consecutive Players of the Year bowl for a title.
Mike Albee that year lost to Walter Ray Williams Jr. for you trivia buffs out there. All right, let's talk shock pattern there. Randy Peterson, as Crocodile Randy has returned. We've got 43 feet, longest pattern on tour.
Very slick oil this week, Dave. The shock pattern forced the players to play really straight early on. The righty started out around the second arrow and tried to burn a patch right here to get their ball to hook. PA did the same thing from out. What the players did was they used about 400 grit sandpaper on their bowling balls, roughed them up, dried this area out, and then they moved into the center of the lane. But the key this week, Dave, ball speed. The players had to stay soft.
Which was different than last week. 4 perfect games this week. You're in Greater Denver. Just minutes from downtown Denver. And what a start it's been for Wes Malott. Got the front 6 if you're thinking 300. PA looks for the turkey, 6th frame. Gets late help, trips out the 10. as he shreds the rack. Great pin action from Patrick. He'll gladly take it.
Yes, I am. Yeah, that's fine.
So down by 21 pins here, Randy, despite the great start by Malott. We see the good possibility for Wes getting another 300 game. He's done it 14 times in his career already. And you see Wes in the background there. He looks relaxed. This is a different bowler, folks. What a story. Double wood Patrick Allen. 3-9 up. Not an easy spare to cover. And that was damaging. Had he struck there, he's down by 11.
He's been light on this lane 3 consecutive shots in a row. And he's looking for some help again on the left lane.
Multi-pin conversion. An attempt here for PA. Covers nicely, 3-9. Patrick told us in the offseason did a lot of golfing. His best score is about a 77, he said, on a 13 handicap right now. Really until August. He took time off to mentally rest after his exhausting season, where he won 3 times. Player of the Year, first time in his career, said he never thought he could get that far. Now back to big Wes Malott, who's quickly becoming a headliner on the tour. Another, it's the front 7 for Wes Malott. Trying to win his first ever title. Patrick Healey Jr., Mika Koivuniemi, the big storyline, they are roommates on the road and have been best friends for 6 years. And now for the first time since 2001, they match up on TV head-to-head. Koivuniemi, Healey Jr. coming up next. First drama, Wes Malott. Looks for the front 8.
Oh.
Has it. Late help on the 9-pin. Closing in.
Absolutely perfect high flush. Wes Malott front 8. The only thing that can stop Wes Malott now is Wes Malott.
Wes's last 300 game was last week at the Tulsa Championship, where he was the runner-up to Tommy Jones. PA has his hands full.
PA kicks the 7 out nicely, but it may be too little too late. His downfall right here on this left lane.
One shot. Maybe.
Big message to us before the show today, trying to stay away from thinking big picture. Can't win 20 events in one. He is the master of the cliche, one event at a time, and it's been successful for him. Well, now he's got his hands full in this match for sure.
You see that time how his ball picked up. It read the pattern better. His speed was a little bit softer, so the ball read it, grabbed the lane, and hooked up to the pocket.
Flush strike on the 9th frame, giving PA a double.
That's what he was looking for the last couple of shots on that left lane. But again, speed is very critical on a very, very slick pattern today.
Looks for the front 9. Big Wes Malott. 9 in a row. Last week, Tommy Jones came within 2 shots of a 300 game on TV. Wes Malott is closing in as well.
Wes Malott needs to keep this ball on the lane, and he's going to win. But that's not what he's thinking about. Right now, he's thinking about 3 strikes in the 10th frame for perfection.
One of our semifinalists, Mika Koivuniemi, last 300 game, 2003. Does he have another? Late help, number 10, down she goes. 10 in a row, and this match is over. Wes Malott steamrolls Patrick Allen, the reigning player of the year. He's to the final, and now he's 2 shots away from a perfect game on TV.
Come on, do it for the fans, baby. Come on.
The fans want it, Wes, no question. Just one more. He'll be the 17th player in tour history on TV. 300. Can you believe it? A 299 and a 4-pin for big Wes Malott. Unbelievable.
Still got a game to go to get 3 tournaments in a row, though. Come on.
He got this one just a pinch left, and you can see him. Come on, ball, hold on just a little bit. What a great game bowled by Wes Malott. Maybe Tommy Jones's 289 at him last week was a motivational factor.
Patrick Allen will beat his spot, dispatched here by the brilliant Wes Malott.
Comes in just a pinch shy, trips a 9 out. He knows that he let a $10,000 bonus from the PBA slip through his fingers.
3 straight TV shows for Wes Malott. He is the top-ranked bowler in the world right now for the first time in his career. He's second in average coming into this TV show. The leader is Tommy Jones. The first time since Mike Scroggins in 2003 that someone has made 3 straight TV shows. And it's Wes Malott. Goes for his first ever career title. And maybe will tie Randy Peterson's record of 3 straight tournaments with a 300 game. We'll see if that falls. The PBA Skills Challenge, our first of the year, is coming up. We can't wait to see that.
Young guy's going down.
It'll be Brian Voss and Tommy Jones. Some spectacular shot making, folks. You're going to want to stick around. These are some of the best trick shots you have ever seen. It's on the way from Denver. Welcome back, everyone, to the base of the Rocky Mountains, the Front Range, where the sun shines 300 days a year. How about the start for Wes Malott? His second 299 game of the week here in the Rockies. He's by Patrick Allen, the reigning player of the year. Healey Jr. and Mika Koivuniemi are coming up in the second semifinal. One of the great aspects of our PBA broadcast here on ESPN, the Skills Challenge. It's so much fun to watch. We've got a great matchup here between 2 fantastic right-handers. So who will try to unseat Chris Barnes as Skills champion? He won it last year. It's Brian Voss, Tommy Jones, round of 16 match here from Tulsa. Jones coming off another victory last week. Has he ever been hot?
Not a good one. We're going to try this. All these older guys, they throw it through the chair because they're all real accurate. You know, the rest of us don't really look at anything. We're going to throw it over it and see what happens.
Now, I'm not sure Brian Voss likes the idea of that, Randy, one bit.
Can you say dislocated shoulder?
Wow. Over. Strikes. Incredible shot.
That is sick.
And Brian Voss knows he's got his hands full.
Yeah, this looks like it'd be real painful. Tommy Jones, 20 years younger than Brian Voss. Not only does he make it over the chair, but he strikes.
Talk about loft.
Don't hurt yourself now. Shut up.
Let's see if the 47-year-old can match it. He's a little hesitant. How many steps does he need?
Oh, God.
Over. Pretty good effort. 2 in the 5 stand, and Jones gets his first strike. 3 strikes and you win the match.
I got to be honest with you, Dave. I'm surprised BV got it over the chair and almost struck. Pretty good effort.
All right, we're going to try to throw it through our legs for a strike here.
This is a difficult shot because you've got to spin the ball between your legs like a basketball player would to try to get it to the pocket. Is he going to hook this thing?
Yes, he is, and apparently these guys have a lot of extra time on their hands.
Look at that wrist flick.
Go through the nose.
Brooklyn strike.
Go get him, Brooklyn. Ninja swing out.
I'd be lucky to keep this on the lane. Tommy Jones, the revolutions between the legs. You see the ball rotating, and he gets lucky carrying the Brooklyn strike.
And look at how far left he was.
This is just like
Plays the big hook.
hold and pray.
Can BV match it?
Oh, that's butter.
It's hooking. A little too much. He'll get 8 pins. Another strike for Tommy Jones. He leads 2-0. One more strike, and he wins the match.
I guess I better start.
That's a tough shot.
Leave that. I got
You know when you're playing horse and a guy keeps canning 20-footers on you, you finally get your opening. What do? You go to the offhand.
Got to go left. Southpaw shot, 7-pin. Brian Voss. Perfect.
Man, did he make that look easy.
It's all right. It gets better, believe me.
Brian had
Throw a ball
a
left-handed,
good
boy.
appearances last year on the Skills Challenge. He was fun to watch.
Remember now. Throw a knuckleball.
Exactly. Now you put my fingers in first.
It's not that easy getting your fingers in, is it? A left-handed shot for TJ.
Stop begging.
He's got to match it, or Voss gets his first strike. Not exactly the form you're looking for. It ends up in the channel.
And Brian Voss is on the board with his first strike.
And Brian is indeed on the board. It's 2-1. Jones needs 1 strike to win the match still and advance off to the round of 8.
All right, give me something good now.
We're going to make the 10-pin with our thumb in the ball only.
Thumb only 10-pin.
What do you say, Randy?
Obviously, he's got a pretty tight thumb hole. He can heave it over a chair at about 30 feet down the lane, and he can attempt to make a 10-pin with his thumb only. Maybe some extra tape involved.
Other fingers aren't in the ball. Look at that. Takes care of the 10-pin. He has got
No pressure. You miss this one.
several
Catch your flight.
trick shots. And the added pressure of, well, Brian Voss doesn't make it. This one's over. Just the thumb in.
Yes.
He's going to miss it. Time to catch that flight, Brian Voss.
Get on that plane, BB.
3-1 Jones wins and advances to the round of 8 in this year's Denny's PBA Tour Skills Challenge. How impressive was Tommy Jones with the trick shots? Our PBA Tour Skills Challenge rolls on next week. We'll have Jason Couch and defending champion Chris Barnes in a round of 16 match. And here from Denver, live coverage of the second semifinal. Patrick Healey Jr. and Mika Koivuniemi head-to-head to see who takes on the red-hot Wes Malott, who bids for his first title. That's all on the way. Healey Jr. and Mika are best of friends. They are roommates on tour and have been for 6 years, but they haven't met on television in about 5 years. We'll hear from them. Randy interviews them when we come back. Back, everyone, to suburban Denver. Not only has Wes Malott made 3 straight TV shows, he's now, for a second straight time, into the final, dispatching of reigning player of the year Patrick Allen in the first game, nearly out of 300. Healey Jr. and Mika Koivuniemi to follow, and they are roommates and best friends, offering a very interesting perspective to this match, and they're joined now by Randy.
Dave, the last time these two pals faced one another on television, well, it was for the title at the 2001 U.S. Open. Patrick, I'll start with you first. How do you go about handling the distractions that come with facing your best friend on tour?
Well, no one has any idea how many distractions he causes, so it's already a lot of work outside of bowling. But no, really, this is kind of cool. You didn't get to do this very often, bowl against your best friend and your roommate, so we're going to try and hoop it up. I do owe him 1 note from the U.S. Open, so I'm going to come out firing.
Great, Patrick. Thank you. Good luck. Mika, what went through your mind when you found out that you were going to be bowling against your best buddy Patrick today?
We had a deal that whoever makes the show gonna pay the room, and I know when I make show, he gonna make show, so he doesn't have to pay the room like he haven't done the last 2 years.
So what, is he cheap?
He's really cheap.
Thanks, Mika. Good luck. Dave, we know Mika's dominance over left-handers is well documented. After today, could it be his own roommate's worst nightmare?
Randy, that is distinctly possible. What's on the line in the march to the Denny's World Championship? And at the end of our season, the second to last event, you see Wes Malott, as we mentioned, first time in his career, has a lead in the points list right now. Tommy Jones, 1 in Japan, 1 last week, has been incredible on TV. His second, and Patrick Allen, the reigning player of the year. You saw him in the 5th slot. That was heading into today. Here's Patrick Healey Jr., first time on TV, a long time for him. Last year's Masters in Milwaukee. 10-pin.
In warm-ups, I saw Patrick Healey Jr. using an extremely aggressive bowling ball, and it looked like he had a really good line to the pocket. He switched to this ball here, which is much smoother in terms of reaction down the lane.
10-pin successful there for Patrick Healey Jr. 37 years old from Flower Mound, Texas. Yet another PBA exempt player from the Dallas Metroplex. There are several of those, including Chris Barnes. And 38-year-old Mika Koivuniemi from a half-hour north of Ann Arbor in the Detroit area, originally from Finland. Former player of the year, trying to get back on top. A nice start for Mika as well, leading us to our Ace Hardware matchup, semifinal number 2, Healey Jr. and Koivuniemi.
Two best friends and tour roommates going head-to-head. The second time since 2001, and I think it's a battle over whoever wins gets to control, the remote control, the hotel next week.
A big storyline as Mika revealed who was cheap for the last 2 years. Boy, that was a cheap shot. I love it.
Nice shot.
Perfect shot. Clears the deck. All 10 in the pit for Mika Koivuniemi, who spent some of his offseason traveling in Europe. As we see the vitals from Patrick Healey Jr., who was actually originally from Niagara Falls, New York, and welcomed in Mika Koivuniemi from Finland. Was one of his first hosts when he came over from Europe. They've been best friends for a long time. Second frame. That really had to hurry. Wow, is that ever light? Way off.
I got some issues here. The ball bounced, double dribbled right here. As soon as Patrick let go of it, he looked straight down at the lane. Tournament director Kurt Von Kruger picking something off of the lane itself.
Well, Kirk was over a moment ago to remove something off the lane. Indeed, hard to tell from here what it was. That's got to hurry and does cover. Gets his 10. His PBA patch apparently from the shoulder fell off onto the lane when he delivered that shot. But a nice cover on his washout ball.
Patrick using two different bowling balls early on. Like I said earlier, the smoother rolling ball in the left lane and much more aggressive bowling ball in the right lane.
That's a lot better. He'll try to rebound. He told us last night he was going to try to treat this match with his best friend as just another outing on the PBA Tour. But the pressure is much greater. Mika's up 14, chance for a 24-pin lead, and the turkey.
Wow.
Perfect shot. As we told you, Mika spent a lot of time in the off-season internationally. Won a major for the European type tour in Denmark, also competed in Qatar, took 2 very long trips, he said, and worked hard in practice. But Randy, to me, the most intriguing aspect of his offseason, the major changes in his game.
The overhaul. I mean, you could see it. It really showed up on this pattern. All the players I talked to this week said you had to be real soft. You really had to try to hook it. And that's not Mika's forte, but you know what? It's exactly what he worked on during the summer. And right now, he's perfect through 4 frames.
Well, Malott had the first 11, and now the front 4 for Mika.
I think what's interesting is Mika's actually using a stronger ball with more surface on the left lane, exactly the opposite of what Patrick Healey's doing.
Patrick told us last night he was going to see how the lanes reacted to the first match in his warm-ups to determine his path to the pocket. Not a lot of hook there. And late help on the 7 on a switch zone hit. Our non-exempt qualifiers who competed this week here in Denver. Henry Gonzalez was the commissioner's exemption. 40th place finish for him. Jeff Carter, the best of the group at 29th, who qualified number 4.
I think what's interesting about that graphic there is all 4 guys that made it through the qualifier are all big hook guys.
10-pin up for Healey, who's not throwing a lot of hook here. Not much crank in the game at the moment. That's his path.
Anytime the lanes get real slick, you can always count on Patrick Healey being in the hunt because of his soft ball speed. But the major overhaul that Patrick did was this complete change of grip. No sweat, Dave. Just relax.
That was close.
Not enough.
He knew he had it all the way. And with a mark in the 5th, he's down by 25 pins to his best friend and roommate. Patrick Healey Jr. has custom-made thumb inserts this year. Big change.
Yeah, made by Vice Grip. They make a mold out of your thumb hole, and they can actually duplicate a thumb that fits perfectly to your thumb. Patrick Healey's made some huge changes we'll talk about in a minute.
10-pin for Mika, seems to be going right at the head pin now. Ball speed, rev rate adjustment for Mika in the offseason, trying to make him one of the more versatile players on tour. Got to be a technician these days. Got to be like a Chris Barnes who can play on any surface. Great players known like that over the years. Norm Duke, Brian Voss, the legends who can adjust to anything.
And as you saw by that graphic, Mika Koivuniemi, perfect this week on single pin spare conversions.
Now the front 4 in this match. Now works on this spare. A 24-pin lead on his best friend. They call themselves the odd couple, except they're both Oscars. No Felix in the group there. Perfect shot, lane level look from our great crew. Mika tells us they're both slobs in a hotel room on the road to the PBA Tour. We will find out how this exciting semifinal unravels. Wes Malott awaits the winner going for his first ever Denny's PBA Career Tour title. Much more on the way from the Front Range of the Rockies when we return. The Denny's PBA Tour Mile High Classic is brought to you by Motel 6, official lodging partner of the PBA. For the lowest price of any national chain, go to motel6.com. By Ace. Ace is the official hardware store of the PBA. Ace, the helpful place. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Major Mika Koivuniemi from Finland, the only player in PBA Tour history to have his first tour titles, first 2 of them be major championships. Leads us to the Dexter approach for this week. And we'll talk about Patrick Allen and his ability, Randy, to repeat shots.
It's all about his footwork, Dave. Watch his 3rd step now. Patrick Allen takes 6 steps now. Right here in his 3rd step, he told me that if that 3rd step goes too far to the right, it causes his swing to start looping this way. And you never want your swing to loop around you, because if it loops that way, it's going to loop around on the way back. So what PA does is he keeps that step nice and tight. It gets his swing on line and helps him to repeat shots.
This week's Dexter approach. Back to Patrick Healey Jr. Off Teresa and stepson Victor closely watching back home. Teresa, a very good bowler in her own right in her days competing internationally for Mexico.
That was better. Hit. Yeah.
Liked it a lot better. And good late pin reaction for Patrick Healey Jr. with a strike he needed heading into this frame down 24 pins. Shreds the rack.
Yeah, he went to the same aggressive ball in that lane with a different layout, something that'll roll up a little bit sooner.
That was better. Hit. Yeah, that was better. That was
A real resurgence in the game of Patrick Healey Jr. Goes here for the double, 7th frame. Cut the lead to 14.
Are you kidding
Tap
me?
on number 7. How about it?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a break.
Gotta get you loose. That'll get you loose.
He changes balls on the left lane, uses the same ball he used on the right, and look at this huge break to keep him in the match.
14-point spread here, 14-pin spread. And 7th frame, Mika works on a strike. All 10 down for the Big Fin. ESPN's coverage of the Denny's PBA Tour continues in Iowa. The Greater Omaha Classic, as the greatest bowlers in the world roll for a piece of the $232,000 prize and the championship, and a tour exemption possibly, depending on the 4 who are there. The Denny's PBA Tour on ESPN Sunday, 1 Eastern. For more, log on to ESPN.com. 24-pin lead. Mika goes for the turkey. 10-pin stands for him. If you ever hear latte newt, that means carry in finish.
Yeah, and this one didn't. Much farther in on that lane, he's got to make sure that he stays soft, otherwise the ball's not going to turn the corner hard enough to take that weak 10 out.
Marks there. And Patrick Healey Jr. trying to climb back in it, down by 23. Goes for the turkey. His max stands at 255. Not sure about Mika, depending on what happens. Off that spare, his foundation frame is coming. Yeah! Lane level, look at all. 10 down in the pit for Patrick Healey Jr.
Patrick survived the first half of the game, made the ball changes necessary, and now looks like he's dialed in. The reason why I say that is because remember the last shot on this lane with that ball change, he went light, he makes a slight adjustment here, and this ball is dead flush perfect. Now he believes in the change that he made.
That's what he told us about last night, Randy. So confident in his game. It's a real overhaul. His hand feels better with those thumb inserts. Much less discomfort. Big shot.
Rocket. Damn it. Damn it.
Did not hit the pocket, 2-pin up.
And that was a big, big shot right there because he strikes there. He can set up the 10th frame for him to shoot 250. Now he's going to need help from Mika. He's got a possibility of 234 if he makes his spare here, but you could see that he did not like that shot at all. Looked like he lost it just a little bit off his hand. Advantage swings back over to Mika Koivuniemi.
With a hook to it, takes care of the 2-pin, but he could have cut that deficit to 3 pins with a strike. Came in high instead. He has not won a title on tour since December 14, 2003. A day, buddy, you remember pretty well. Dexter Tournament of Champions, Connecticut defeated you in the final.
It's the worst day of my life, Dave. Thanks for bringing it up again.
Second place finish was pretty fine, partner. You bowled great that week. Mika gets some late help on number 10. Down she goes as he closes in on a victory and an appointment with Mr. Malott in the final.
His soft speed and that big hand is what's enabling him to kick out that late 10. Right now, Mika with a strike here will go on to face Wes Malott for the title. Wow.
That did not hold at all, right through the nose.
If Mika fails,
split that is.
If Mika fails to convert the 3-6,
7-10.
the 3-6-7-10, he'll give Pat Healey an opportunity to get up in the 10th frame and beat him. If he makes it, he would need 7 on his fill shot to win. But this is a must-make for Mika to win this match.
Wife Lena, kids Ida and Lydia back home. He's not done well in splits. They're all watching. 7 stands, an open frame late for Mika. And the door is open again. It seemed closed for Patrick Healey Jr. What an opportunity.
He caught a piece of that 3-pin, but not enough of it. Slid it right in front. Pat Healey needs 2 strikes and 3 pins to win this match.
Ten pin. And that's it. Mika Koivuniemi will go to the final despite that great chance for Patrick Healey Jr. It was a nice ball. He hit the pocket, just didn't get that 10 pin.
Yeah, it was a pretty good shot, but I think he fought his reaction the entire day. His ball never faced up the right way, and that's why he was making all those ball changes as the match went on.
Patrick Healey Jr. told us after the Dexter Tournament of Champions last spring he was very disappointed in his season. Was not able to repeat at the TOC. Only made 1 show last year. The Masters in Milwaukee at Miller Park, where he lost. The eventual champion there was Danny Wiseman. However, as he strikes there, he competed in a regional in Lawton, Oklahoma, right after the Dexter Tournament of Champions and won it. So he feels like that will help him. And maybe the good step here with a TV appearance in Denver as the 2 best friends
wait for me or I'll wait, I guess. Swimmer can take you, so.
are making plans for later.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mika's got to buy dinner. There's no question about it. He knocks off his roommate and best buddy, Patrick Healey Jr., and he'll take on Wes Malott in the finals here from Denver. Major Mika back in a final. It's all coming up next from Denver. Special thanks to George Heaney, General Manager, Brunswick Zone Lakewood, here in Greater Denver, hosting this fabulous event. Big crowd last night here for the Pro-Ams going on. And the bowlers enjoying the facilities as usual. We are set for a great final between Wes Malott, Mika Koivuniemi. As Malott will go for his first ever title, Mika goes for number 7. Let's go back to last week, Randy, in a tremendous outing for Tommy Jones, as he won yet another tour title. The hottest bowler on tour in Tulsa was red hot, nearly at a 300 game, as he tried to bid another tour title for himself.
Oh, that's right! Come on!
You can really tell when it's your week when good things happen, and here's a really great thing. Trip 2 right there.
Ball number 11 of 12, if he could get it. The big hook. And how about the 7? How did it physically stand up? We're still not sure. But Tommy Jones will gladly take another championship. He is 1 win away now from consecutive TV victories on PBA Tours. He's been great. Our Denny's PBA Tour schedule on the road, as we told you about. The Greater Omaha Classic coming up from Council Bluffs, just outside Omaha, Nebraska. Pro-Am's going on at Thunderbolt Lanes. For more, log on to PBA.com. Tickets for the event, and of course, Pro-Am's available as well online. And the Masters coming up from Milwaukee and U.S. Cellular Arena. That's where the finals will be, an arena show. See the Pro-Am sites as well on November 19th, so log on to PBA.com for more information on how to be involved with those great Pro-Am events. Major Mika Koivuniemi getting set to go head-to-head with Wes Malott, 2 of the biggest guys on tour in a big event. The victor is going to take home the Mile High Classic Championship. We are moments away from the final. Mika Koivuniemi head-to-head with Wes Malott. These 2, Randy Peterson, have met once before. A couple years ago, World Championship. That's when Mika took care of Wes. Eventually, Tom Baker won that tournament, earned himself a 4-year exemption. So how do you see this one breaking down? 2 of the biggest guys who got out there in really a huge match. And there's so much pressure on Wes to try to break through for his first title.
Well, it's all about what's going to go on in Wes Malott's mind. I mean, if his concentration and his focus is like it was in the first game, he doesn't think about, well, I got to do this to win, or the money, or the exemption. He'll be fine. He shot 299 the first game. It's kind of hard to repeat that type of feat, but you know, Mika's ball reaction didn't look all that good. I think there's a big advantage swinging Wes Malott's direction, for the simple fact that he can hook it a lot more than Mika can.
Well, Mika certainly has the experience in terms of winning the big events at the right time. And, of course, he's won a couple of major championships as well at the start of his career. His first 2 titles, in fact. Let's look at the Geico Championship recap, Randy, and get us caught up to this point.
Okay, let's do it. Semifinal number 1, Wes Malott defeated Patrick Allen by the score of 299 to 236. A 4-pin was all that stood between Wes Malott and perfection. And in semifinal number 2, Mika Koivuniemi defeated roommate and best friend Patrick Healey Jr. by the score 226 to 223, setting up a great championship match for the Denny's PBA Tour Mile High Classic.
'2004 World Championship, Eastern Michigan University, Ypsilanti. Last time these two met on TV. It was the first match. Mika won it. Who was that high? Right through the nose again. Not the ball reaction Mika wants to start this match off. The score a couple years ago at the Worlds, 225-193, Mika victor.
And right now, Mika's faced with the toughest non-split conversion on tour, the 3.6910.
Covers nicely.
The reason why I say that's so hard, Dave, is a little bit right of where Mika just threw it. The ball's in the gutter. A little bit left. It overhooks and chops the 3-9 straight back.
So Mika coming off a ball change we'll tell you about. Now it's Wes Malott.
Wow.
Wow, is that ever light. Wash out there for Wes. And a tough first shot for each to begin the championship match, Randy. Look out.
Yeah, and believe it or not, folks at home, they got practice before the start of this match. And apparently there are either some nerves or the guys just aren't lined up.
Great look from our crew. Pin flying right at you. And number 10 stands an open frame for Wes Malott. Now, you hate to jinx him, Randy, but let's talk about the nerves again for Wes in big matches. We told you about the fouls, the gutter ball last week in Tulsa. As we look at the Ace Hardware matchup, that could be a big factor with Wes. The emotions, keeping in check.
Look at the matchup, a much higher average for Wes Malott throughout the week, 7 pins a game. And just keep in mind, Wes Malott's game on television today, 299. Mika only 226.
Yes, that's right.
Much better ball. Already, what do you think about Wes and managing emotions?
I think he'll be fine.
Yes, that's right.
The reason why I say that is because he came right back after that wash on the first frame and threw it perfect on the left lane. Look at that look. That's just stoic look where looks like his pulse is about like 50.
And a perfect shot. Has made a ball change for a different reaction. We see much less loft with Mika throwing it down lane. And the rev rate has been adjusted. His ball speed is totally different from years past. Coming up, NHRA Powerade Series Automobile Club of Southern California Finals. It's the eliminations tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2. Lots of qualifying at 10:30 Eastern Time Saturday. And catch which titles will be decided at the 41st Annual Southern California Finals. It's coming up on ESPN2.
Nice move, nice adjustment. Mika moved further left on the lane, but keep in mind again, the further in you move, the more oil you find. You've got to make sure that your ball speed stays soft for it to read the pattern.
So how do you think Mika's adjusting with his new style?
I think it looks great. I mean, it's just all about feel and repetition, and it looks like he's got a really good feel for it.
Looks like Wes Malott has made a move left. Late help. All 10 down for Wes Malott. And it's an important factor on this oil pattern, Randy. Guys are making moves.
Game 1, Wes Malott, you can see where he's playing in between third and fourth there on the left lane, which is the drier of the two. And in game 2,
it's another 5 or 6 boards left. And remember, like I said at the top of the show, when the players made moves or made adjustments, they were big adjustments.
Looks for the turkey. 4th frame, chance for an 11-pin lead.
Yes!
And he cranked that right into the pocket. Big Wes Malott. Out of Round Rock, Texas. Trying to close in on his biggest victory in his career. Mika Koivuniemi has a 1-pin lead. Will crown the Mile High Classic Denny's PBA Tour champ next. 1-pin lead, Mika Koivuniemi over Wes Malott. Last year, 3 bowlers won their first career title. Mike Wolf in Medford, Jason Hurd in Wichita, Kansas, Tommy Jones in Japan. Maybe Wes Malott becomes our first-time winner of this brand-new season. Speaking of brand new, PBA merchandise now available at PBA.com, the official website of the Denny's PBA Tour. You can purchase authentic PBA jerseys, just like the ones the pros wear during Pro-Am competition and skills challenge matches. So head to PBA.com and shop online today. As always, you can get tickets to our great events and a place on the Pro-Am list to bowl with these tremendous world-class bowlers. And Mika comes from the other part of the world, from Finland.
Just not ready to throw it. Did the right thing. He stepped off and regrouped. Go back through your pre-shot routine.
Remember Wes Malott last week in Tulsa? He told us last night, I knew I should have thrown that ball, ended up in the gutter. He said, as I made the approach to the foul line, I thought, I'm not going to bowl. I'm going to bowl. I'm not going to bowl. It was too late. Went in the gutter.
Yeah. And that's just due to inexperience. I guarantee you that doesn't happen today.
Oh, the paralyzer goes down late, number 5. And Mika bolts out to an 11-pin lead with a turkey.
You know, Mika, in my opinion, is at a disadvantage because of the fact that he's a lot straighter than Wes Malott. But because of the changes that he worked on over the summer, you know, he's in this match and ahead in this match. You remember back, let's see, when he won Reno, he beat Brad Angelo. He beat him on a pattern, a very similar pattern to this. Brad Angelo hooking it, Mika piping it straight and hard. Mika came out on top. Wow.
4-bagger for Mika Koivuniemi, who has 6 titles. His last came in Indianapolis last season.
High trip 4, and the trip 4 is a bowler's best friend if you're right-handed. For a lefty, it would be a trip 6.
In our young season, the first bowler to make all 3 TV shows. Whoa, look out through the nose. That's awfully high. A ball reaction at the end of the 43-foot shark pattern, not what Wes wanted. And he's in trouble.
Tell you what, the only shark now is Mika sitting on the bench after watching Wes Malott go through the nose and leave the 3, 6, 9, 10. And he heard Wes say that he grabbed it. What that means is he grabbed it at the bottom, which made the ball jerk early and not push to the right, causing it to go high.
Nice cover.
Nice cover.
A lot of power behind that ball.
A very unusual way to make that spare. You need to throw a hook ball into that to cover that back pin. The 9-pin, Wes Malott threw the heater down there.
Well, that goes back to his versatility. He told us last night in meeting with him that he has become more versatile, different oil patterns, different plans of attack, maybe creative at times. And that's given him confidence. This is a different bowler from years past, no question. Clears the deck. And a big shot by the big Texan. Wife Meredith and little son Jordan back home in Texas watching. They were in Tulsa last week.
See what Mika's done on the left lane and the right lane. Pretty even. I think Mika likes to go a little bit straighter, which would favor him on the right lane.
Double wood.
And as soon as I say that, he goes too light and leaves 2-8. Boy, he was in real position there if he would have struck in the 6th and 7th to have his foot on Wes Malott's throat. Instead now gives Wes a little breathing room by not striking here in the 6th frame.
Mika had 4 TV appearances last year, tied for 2nd most on the tour. Leader Chris Barnes among them had 5. 7 tour points last year, 2 titles. It was a good season, but not up to his standards.
Push, push, push.
In finish, he urges the ball to cover the double wood 2-8 nicely. He's hungry for another Player of the Year type season.
Well, Dave, I understood what he was saying there at that time. He was saying push, push, push.
Oh, it was just push.
Because he got, watch this. You want the ball to split the 2 right down the middle and cover that back pin. He thought he got it left of target, but because of all the oil in the middle part of the lane, it held the ball on line.
Max numbers for each. 23-pin lead. 7th frame. Mika works on a spare. And gets some late help.
And Mika's locked and loaded on that left lane.
Wes got to hold up his little son Jordan at the end of that match last week in Tulsa. After losing to Jones in the final.
Good shot.
10-pin stands.
Grabbed it last shot, it hooked. This time I don't.
He asked his wife Meredith to bring Jordan down. Middle of that match, regardless of what happened, wanted to go through that experience with his young son.
Right now, he's experiencing some breakdown or some changes with the oil pattern.
Little drama on the 10-pin takes care of the mark.
With all the surface that these players used this week, the lanes were changing every other ball. And if you're not on top of that, you're going to struggle. You see what Wes Malott has done. It's all about the left lane for him. The good news, though, for Wes Malott is he gets to finish the match on the left lane.
8th frame. Number 7 falls.
My turn to get the breaks.
And he'll gladly take the break.
Yeah, this is pretty light. Swish zone, rip the rack, whatever you want to call it. But he gets the 7 to go last. And he is still in this match. He can strike out to shoot 245 right now. If Mika were to strike spare out, he would shoot 228.
No help there from Mika on the 10-pin. Could have had a 33-pin lead.
And again, Mika light on this right lane, and that's the lane Mika is going to have to finish on. Just too light, leaving a real shaker weak 10. There's just not enough bite down the lane to get the ball to finish hard enough to get over there into the 1-3 more solidly.
So off of the flat 10, he takes care of the mark. Each bowler entering the critical foundation 9th frame here, looking for a PBA Tour title. Mika told us last night, goals preseason just to win one event and become exempt. Well, that's the simple goal. The second, of course, he wants to be Player of the Year again. He is hungry for it. No hold at all. And look at the split he's got to deal with as it's right through the nose.
The same thing happened in his first match, only this time he comes a frame earlier on the very same lane. Mika goes flush, flush, flush on that lane. Doesn't make the adjustment, throws it good. The lane's changed. The ball grabs too early, goes right through the nose, and he pays the ultimate price.
Wow, look at the split numbers. Miserable. 0 for 13. 3, 4, 6, 7. 4-7 stand, late open frame. Wow.
And this match is for Wes Malott to take if he can perform here in the 9th and 10th frame.
Same spot, just roll it.
2 strikes here, 1 in the 9th, first ball in the 10th. Wes Malott is going to win his first ever PBA title.
The lane is so tight in the middle.
Yeah, and Mika's got to finish on it, Wes, so advantage Wes Malott because he gets to finish on the left. Now, Wes Malott with a spare here, he can strike out in the 10th frame to shoot 215. Mika, spare strike or strike spare, only shoots 212. That would force Mika Koivuniemi to double in the 10th on the tough right lane.
Knocks down the 10 for his mark. Wes told us last night he feels he's up for big moments just like this one. Pressure packed. Told us he feels he could become, with hard work, maybe a couple of breaks, the Tommy Jones of this season. That's a big statement. Jones won 4 tour titles last year. This is the first step toward that goal.
Yes! Make him double. Make him work for it. That's all I ask. Make him earn it.
He's got to have this one. He's got to have this one and at least 8 on his fill shot to force Mika to double. If he doesn't strike here, Mika needs a mark and good count in the 10th frame to win.
Good shot. Yeah!
Wow. Big, big, big.
He loved it off the release.
So the question remains, what is Mika going to do on the right lane as you see Wes Malott going to his strength, using that hand and the massive revolutions in power. He shreds the rack. 8 pins forces Mika to double.
Wes has gone his first 46 events of his career, PBA Tour, without a win. Maybe today's the day.
That's enough. Mika needs 2. Question is, can anybody strike on the right lane?
It's been a real tough assignment to do exactly that. Wes, you certainly did do your job. What a finish. That's what Mika needs. Anything less, Malott is a PBA Tour champion. And Wes Malott has won his first ever title.
That's right. Oh, about time. Thanks, guys.
The big right-hander from Round Rock, Texas.
Jordan, honey, I love you. Everybody back home, thanks.
A shout out back home for all in Texas watching.
Mika here, in my opinion, makes a perfect shot. Gets the ball to face finally, just pushes just a shade down the lane, leaves a massive ring in 10.
Oh, what a shot it was.
And that man right there, sitting on the bench, wins his first ever Denny's PBA Tour title.
Wes Malott.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nearly rolled a 300 game in the semis. Now he takes care of Major Mika. And for the first time ever, raises a Denny's PBA Tour title trophy.
Awesome, baby. Yes, sir.
What a moment for Malott.
Awesome.
In Denver, he is a champion.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys are great. Thank you.
The Denny's PBA Tour Mile High Classic is brought to you by Denny's. We're cooking now. By Dexter, where you can play with the pros. Enter to win at dextershoe.com. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Motel 6, official lodging partner of the PBA. For the lowest price of any national chain, go to motel6.com. 46 events without a Denny's PBA Tour title. And it all changes for Wes Malott here in Denver today as he takes care of Mika Koivuniemi in the final. Wes, how would you best describe the feeling of raising that trophy for the first time?
This is unbelievable. I mean, this is awesome. I mean, I don't even know what to say, really. I mean, last week, you know, against Tommy bowling really good. Just carried over to this week, and, you know, finally some breaks went my way, and we got it.
How do you face the pressure when you know you have to make Mika double in the 10th?
Well, like I said in the interview earlier, you know, that's kind of what I've been working on over the summer, making clutch shots when you need them. You know, I know if I force him to double, he 2-8'd on the right lane, and that lane was obviously tricky for me. So, you know, I got the double, and things went my way, and here we are.
How do you react when someone calls you the hottest bowler on the PBA Tour?
You know, I don't even know what to say. I mean, you know, Tommy, obviously a good friend. He's still hot, obviously. He just ran into a pair where, you know, against Brian Himmler, and, you know, he just didn't get the breaks. But, you know, we'll take it and soak it in, and hopefully it continues.
Congratulations. Wes Malott, everybody, with his first career PBA Tour title today here in suburban Denver, Colorado. With Broncos quarterback Bradley Van Pelt watching an exciting game. Next week, the Greater Omaha Classic Thunder Bowl outside Omaha, Nebraska in Council Bluffs, Iowa. Wes Malott enjoys the moment with the overflow crowd here in suburban Denver, Colorado, giving him a standing ovation for good reason, because for the first time in his career, he is a Denny's PBA Tour champion. And we had some big names here. Major Mika Koivuniemi, a former Player of the Year. Patrick Allen, last year's Player of the Year, but neither good enough to top Wes Malott today. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now, for the entire crew, my partner Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Denver. Pro Billiards comes up next on ESPN.